The kindness of strangers. Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a man named Raja who was known throughout the community as the helpless man. Raja was physically disabled from birth and relied on a wheelchair to move around. Despite his limitations, he had a heart full of kindness and a spirit that shone bright. Raja's house was at the far end of the village, and he could often be seen sitting by his window watching the world go by. He wished could be more independent, but his disability made it difficult for him to perform even the simplest of tasks every day. He dreamed of the day when he would no longer be referred to as the helpless man. One sunny morning, as Raja watched the villagers go about their daily routines, he noticed a commotion outside his window. There was a festival approaching, and the villagers were busy decorating the streets and their houses. It was a time for celebration, and everyone was excited. Raja couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness and isolation. He wished he could participate in the festival like everyone else, but his disability had always held him back. His neighbor, an elderly woman named Sana, noticed the fallen look on his face. Sana, who was known for her kindness and wisdom, decided to pay Raja a visit. She knocked on his door, and when he welcomed her in, she asked, Raja, why do you look so sad today? Raja sighed and replied, Sana, I have always wanted to be a part of the village festivals and celebrations, but my disability makes it impossible. I feel helpless and left out. Sana smiled and said, Raja, you may be physically limited, but your heart and spirit are limitless. There is more to persons' worth than their abilities. Let me tell you a story. She began to recount a tale of a time when the village had been facing a severe drought. The villagers had tried everything to bring and rain, but had failed. It was Raja, the helpless man, who had suggested they hold a prayer ceremony, and miraculously the rain had come. The villagers had realized that Raja's wisdom's kind heart were invaluable. As Sana spoke, Raja's eyes filled with tears. He realized that he had a unique gift to offer the community, even he couldn't physically participate in the festivities. The day of the festival arrived and the villagers were busy celebrating. But this time they didn't forget Raja. They gathered around his house, seeking his wisdom and advice. They understood that he might be physically helpless, but his heart and spirit were strong. From that day forward, Raja was no longer known as the helpless man. He was celebrated as the heartful sage for his wisdom, kindness, and the invaluable contributions he made to the community. The moral of the story is that our worth is not defined by our physical limitations. We have all unique gifts, and even the so called helpless among us have a lot to offer to the world. It's important to recognize and appreciate the inner strengths and talents of every individual, no matter their external circumstances.